Hey there everyone, Tim here on TC's World. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've had a lot of stuff going on at the end of last year, and I didn't get a chance to really get out in the woods much and do what I wanted, but I'm starting to get some free time again, so I figured it'd be a good time to start doing some videos. It's early January now, 25, and I'm here with Nikki. She's catching up behind me. We are out on the Tippecansett Trail here in Rhode Island, just over the border from Connecticut, from Voluntown off of 165 Beach Pond. And today we're going to be hiking the Tippecansett Trail out to Lookout Rock, and then from there we're going to hit the Deep Pond Trail, and we're going to hike out to Deep Pond on the Deep Pond Trail. I've hiked out to Deep Pond before on some unmarked trails and stuff during the summer, but I like doing this hike in the winter because hopefully today we can actually cross the ice on Deep Pond across to the house that's there. And I haven't done this hike in a long time. This is one of my favorite hikes to do in the winter. We will be testing the ice here on Beach Pond shortly, but I figured we'd start by hiking the trail a little ways. But this is probably about a 2-mile hike, 2.5 mile hike. It'll probably take us about an hour to get out there. And just like my normal, I'll do this like my normal trail videos. I'll do most of the trail in time warp, and I'll stop at the interesting places and talk. And I'll have the chapters at the bottom of the screen like I normally do, and hopefully this will become a trend and I'll get out here and do some more videos this year. I have a few more planned for the winter if it stays cold. Crossing across Patchogue is one of my hopes this year, and maybe the exploration of L Pond in the Long Pond L Pond Reserve. But for now, we're going to enjoy the day here. It's snowing a little bit. Take our nice hike, a nice stroll through the woods out to Deep Pond. Well, this is our first look at the cove on the south side of 165, and it's been windy the last week, so that's why we didn't take this as a shortcut, because it looks like there might be some open spots still in the middle. This looks pretty good here, but I think we're going to stick to the trail on this one for now, and I'll check the ice when we get to Deep Pond, but give it a quick. I mean, it's pretty solid. Looks pretty thick.
I mean, you could check it.
I could, but that takes time, so. But it's cool. Ice is getting pretty solid now. You're probably not going to want to walk on it without your micro spike, so we'll stick to the trail anyhow, because this is slippery.
That might take a minute to put on.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm more interested in getting out to Deep Pond. And we'll have fun trying to cross that. Hopefully it's not open. So this gives you a good look at the entire cove that we're hiking around out here at Beach Pond. It does look pretty frozen. There's people out here out on the other side of those little open spots that are ice fishing, so if they're ice fishing out there, this looks more solid in here and looks even thicker come up into those little swampy coves than it does out here. So what a beautiful day for hiking. It's pretty out here. It's been a long time since I've taken a good hike. I'm excited to be back out in the woods. It's great. Like I said, I'm really hoping to continue this trend and make more videos here as spring comes up. There's a couple bike trails and stuff I'd like to do now that we have the electric bikes. And yeah, I can put this back on time warp and keep going here. Awesome day so far. So we're getting close to Lookout Rock now, but I took a little stop here along these ledges just before we start heading up the hill towards Lookout Rock. And these ledges are really cool. There's all kinds of little small caves all strewn around these ledges. We brought the nieces and nephews here before, and they go in and play around in the caves. There's one right here, right off the trail. This one's kind of cool. It's decent size in there. A little crevice. Yeah. Oh, cool place to take the kids if you got any. Let them run around the rocks, play in the caves. There's Nikki down there looking at wondering what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah. Nah, there's no bear in there. It's too close to the trail. I'm not too worried about bears. Black bears usually run away from you anyways. You know, what's the saying for bears? If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, say goodnight, because polar bears will eat you. But there are no polar bears here. So right here is the start of the Deep Pond Trail. This rock right here used to say Lookout on it. Up on top of that piece of ledge right there is a nice little spot where we're going to go up and take a break. See if we get a nice overview of Beach Pond and the road that we came off of. And this in itself is a nice destination to go if you just want to take a short hike. You can park right at 165 and you can hike out to Lookout Rock. It takes probably 20 minutes to get out here.
22 minutes actually.
Okay, well, 22 minutes, so I was close. My estimate was close.
0.67 of a mile.
It's just over a half mile out to this point from the road on the trail. So we're going to climb up this and see what we can see if we get a good view. I know it's been growing in since I was a kid. Used to get a really good view up here when I was little, but the trees have gotten a lot bigger. So the view is closing in, but I still think you get a view up here. We're gonna find out. Now this hike I'm doing right now, minus the Deep Pond part, I've been hiking this for as long as I can remember. Pretty sure this is one of the first places my father took me as a kid. Woo! The hill climb still gets me out of breath though. Damn. Off in the distance there is Beach Pond and the road in which we came in on. The large half of Beach Pond, the main half, is still pretty open, it looks like. We're gonna take a little break up here, catch our breath, and I'll start recording again when we get back down to the Deep Pond Trail. Okie dokie, so we are now on the Deep Pond Trail. We just finished our break up on top of Lookout Rock. We're at the start of the Deep Pond Trail. We're gonna hike that all the way out to Deep Pond. It's probably another half-hour hike or so from here. It's a really beautiful trail. It goes by some cool places. It goes on an access road, which I believe is still open. You could drive down if you know where the entrance is off 165, and then it leaves that access road and brings us out to Deep Pond, which it's always a beautiful hike. Even more particularly beautiful in the winter, especially when you got a little bit of snow on the ground. So we're going to start hiking our way out there. Put this back on time warp, and I'll stop when we get to an interesting spot. So we've been hiking along the Deep Pond Trail. We've come up to the end of that access road I was talking about earlier. So you can, I believe it's still open at 165. If you find this access road, you could drive straight up to this point with your truck. You might even be able to get a car down that road. It doesn't look too bad. But this is a particularly cool spot here. I always thought was really cool. When I was younger, there was a junked car down there, which has been cleaned up since. But this is an old quarry here where they used to quarry out chunks of granite probably to make people's foundations. I know that because of these holes here in the rock, these drill holes all over the place. A couple more up here. They drill these holes and then break chunks of rock off, and they'd use that to build people's foundations back in the day before concrete. And you can see this whole section here has been dug out. So they've quarried quite a bit of stone out of this spot back in the day. There's a lot of these old granite quarries around, especially in eastern Connecticut and Rhode Island. Obviously one of the earliest areas of the country to be inhabited. So building houses was a big thing, and they would have needed stone for the foundations and stuff. But we're going to continue down the Deep Pond Trail, which now follows this access road for a little while, and then it darts off to the right, and that'll bring us straight out to Deep Pond. Well, this is where the Deep Pond Trail leaves this little access road, and if you do want to drive in here, make your shorter hike, you can park here. Like I said, this road comes out at 165 somewhere past Beach Pond. I don't remember exactly where you'd have to look for it, but we're gonna leave this access road now and head down the White Trail towards Deep Pond. We probably got another 20, maybe 25 minutes of hiking left, if that, to get out to Deep Pond. And I'm excited to get out there and see how thick the ice is. See if we can cross it out to get out to the house that's on the other side. It has collapsed. If you watch my other video, the long trail or the long hike out to Deep Pond, I hike out there in the spring, I think it was. And we went all the way out to the house. I posted some old pictures of when it was standing, because when the first time I did get out there, it was standing. But it's not now. So we're still going to get out there, hopefully cross the pond. Put this back on time warp for now, and next stop is Deep Pond.
All I want
Well, we made a deep pond. Unfortunately, straight out ahead is where the old house used to be, and I can see open water right there along the shoreline. So doesn't look like we're going to be able to cross to the house, unfortunately. But this whole area looks pretty frozen, so I might drill a hole or two and see how thick it is. Maybe play around in the ice for a little bit. Maybe I'll get the drone out and we'll do a nice drone shot of the pond and what the house, you know, kind of close to where the house was with the drone. I think flying in the snow is probably okay. It's not snowing too hard. But I'm a little disappointed that we're probably not going to be able to cross the pond. I'm still going to drill a hole, see how thick it is, and we'll go from there. So it took us just over an hour to get here. That was with the brake on Lookout Rock. Like I said, if you don't take the brake and you hike quickly, I made it out here in 45 minutes before. We went about 2 4/10 of a mile, so it's almost 2.5 mile hike out here. And we're gonna have to hike the same trail back. Right now I'm gonna drill a hole. I'm gonna have Nikki videotape me doing that, so see how thick the pond is here. There you go. Crack right there. So I drilled a hole in the ice, and here it's about 6 inches thick, which is plenty safe enough for to walk around on. Now, one of the ways I test to really see if the ice is safe, because it could be thinner elsewhere, is you jump on the ice, and that water does not move at all in that hole, which means it's pretty solid right here. I might venture out a little bit further, drill a couple other holes and see how thick it is, but I don't know how far out I'm really going to go, because there's some spots where some water has seeped up through with the snow. Now, most of those are probably totally fine, but I'm pretty sure the one straight out in front of me is open. So, but this would be a really awesome pond to ice fish if you had the ice fishing gear and you had a Rhode Island fishing license. I can't imagine what kind of fish are in here. I can't imagine too many people fish this pond. But I'm gonna get the drone out, do some drone flights, and we'll just play around on the ice a little bit and have some fun. It's too bad it was so windy over the week. I did some examination out there. There's a spot out here. I drilled another hole. It's getting thinner, so I won't go too far further out than the hole I was drilled. Ooh, that spot's slippery. Well, I'm probably out about 50 feet from the shore. There's a spot right here. I can tell it's thin. I can move. I jump up and down. I can see water moving, so I know that spot's thin and was open. Looks like this spot over here was thin and open. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't get any snow today so I could actually see the ice, but I'd say with the conditions it's been over the week and how this looks, this is probably not safe to cross by any means. But it's thick here. It's about 4 or 5 inches out here. It's like 6 inches closer to the shore. I'm gonna fly the drone and then go from there. this has been a fun hike out to Deep Pond. This is the wintertime hike I like to do. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cross the pond like we wanted to, as you saw in the drone footage I have of where the house was and where that open hole is. But yeah, no, it was fun being out here. We don't get the winters like we used to, or it used to be really cold. There's been many times I've crossed this pond no problem. In fact, that spot that's open is always a little bit thinner than the rest of the pond anyways. But you have an open hole here and stuff. And so unfortunately they get to cross, but luckily I have the drone. So we were able to kind of pan around with the drone and stuff, get a good view of the lake. And I was able to get out in the ice, have a little bit of fun. Made a little face over here. I should have did this before I did the drone. But the drone gave me a hell of a time. But I drew a little face on the ice here. It's always fun. Have a little bit of fun while you're out here. And we're gonna make a 2.5 mile hike back now. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. This will be my first video I've done in a while. And it's definitely not my last one that I had planned. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, it'll stay cold and I'll get to do maybe another winter hike next weekend. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click like and subscribe. Until next time.